Hey, everybody, I want to thank you for watching the special edition Steelers pre-snap. Luther Dupree here with the Hall of Famers, Smokin Jim Frazier, Claudio Rosano, and let's get it started off by reviewing the last game in this bye week, what you expected. Claudio, let's go with you first.
I'm sorry, Luther, you broke up a little bit. Which game did you want me to talk about?
Yeah, just the last game and also this bye week. You know, we had a bye week after a disappointing loss. What are your thoughts? What do we need to work on?
Well, the bye week can be important for a lot of reasons, obviously, to rest up physically, but also mentally. In my opinion, years ago, I forgot what year it was. I think it was 95, I think, something like that, when Cowher told the struggling Steelers at the time, let's forget about the past X amount of games. We start off 0-0. Okay, today is your first game. Forget about the Eagles game, Cleveland, forget about all that. Okay. I remember I said it when I was an assistant at Duquesne, and the coach said, I don't know where you're going with that. That's why he's where he is, and I'm doing what I'm doing, but the hell with him. But what I'm saying is today's your first game of the year, right now. Okay. Again, don't worry about what happened before. Now we start. And hopefully this bye week can help with that attitude and start over again. Forget about the excuses, rookie quarterback, injuries, whatever. Now we start anew. I know it sounds crazy. They're 2-6, but don't even worry about that. Just start all over right now. And I think that's what they have to do.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. How about you, Smokin Jim?
Hey, Lou, I agree with everything Claudio says. I played on two teams. I played on a team in high school and a team in college that we had to forfeit the season because we had some ineligible players. So I mean, when you're going into them last two games, when you're all of a sudden you're 0-8, and you got to rally the troops, man. So that's where they're at right now. Hey, listen, I'm not disappointed at all where the Pittsburgh Steelers are. I think T.J. Watt is coming back. He's the greatest player in Steeler history. I think the talent is there, although Mika all of a sudden got appendicitis. I think offensively and defensively, special teams, this is a team that is playoff caliber, AFC championship caliber team, but they have no quarterback. And if you swing and miss at the quarterback position, like the Pittsburgh Steelers have done, then you're in for what looks like a rebuilding, next several years. And it's only because of one position, the quarterback position.
Wow, Jim, you guys have given up already. I kind of disagree. Rookie quarterback, I'm going to give him time. I'm not going to make an assessment yet. He looks bad out there, but I expect him to look bad. So we'll see through this bye week. It just seems like this season, every time you get somebody back, somebody goes down. You get the best defensive player on your team, and your second best player goes down with an appendectomy. He's going to miss multiple weeks. So now that means more Trey Norwood for a struggling Saints offense. And I'm kind of worried. I thought we'd have a full, healthy defense for a change. And as soon as we get one back, one is gone. It's just disaster after disaster with these injuries. All right, let's go back. Okay, Frank Jackson, glad you guys are back. Hey, we're glad to be back. Hopefully we could bring the Steelers some winning streak. They haven't won a game since we haven't been doing Steelers pre-snap. Maybe we could get them going. So first, let's get it started off with our Claudio's huddle up. What do you have for us, Claudio?
First of all, Luth, was Jim the one who was ineligible? Is that what cost Cal or high school?
Probably.
You know what? Now, Pete, 0-0, and they have to go into it more emotionally charged. Don't worry about next week. Worry about this game. That's number one. Number two, Matt Canada, open it up. Don't worry about the 3-yard patterns, the 5-yard patterns. Open it up defensively for today. Attack. Be aggressive. You're home. You're at home. The fans are going to go crazy. If T.J. Watt's playing today, I'm not really sure. I guess he is. That's going to bring the adrenaline up. And the other thing too, Luther, is we have to quit with the excuses because we're all humans. If somebody says, well, we didn't have a good show today because of the equipment. We didn't. There's reasons for things, yes, and there's excuses. Enough with presenting excuses for Pickett. He's a 24-year-old millionaire. He's a 5-year college veteran, whatever the hell he was. He's in the big leagues now. Turn it up, okay? Don't present excuses for him. He has to not accept them. Well, I don't have the offensive line. We're not studying enough. We don't have this. They're not opening up. The hell with that. Go out and play. Okay. I agree with Jim, and it isn't that Jim and I were giving up. We never thought it was a great pick to begin with. Giving up on him means that we thought he was going to be the franchise quarterback, and we said, well, he doesn't have it. We said that at the beginning. Great second, third round pick, first round pick, no. But forget about that. Go after it. Be aggressive, attack. When in doubt, always attack in business, sports, and in life. And enough with the excuses. That's what my huddle up would be with this team.
Okay. All right. Smokin' Jim, what do you have for us?
Hey, thanks, Lou. And just to correct you, what you said about Frank's text, we ain't all hoping the Steelers turn around. So you may want to speak for yourself when it comes to that. But hey, listen. I think that Jeff Saturday was the greatest hire in NFL history, and I'll tell you why. I've been saying for a lot of years that they have to get these great players back into the NFL, the Peyton Mannings, the Tom Brady's, the Drew Breeses, and these guys, the Eddie George. These guys know the game, they understand the game, but they don't want to have to start at the bottom, and they shouldn't have to because they know the game, they understand the game. All Jeff Saturday has to do is bring on a couple old geezers, not as coordinators or defensive coordinators or anything like that, but as consultants, guys that want to hang around and still love football and guide him a little bit. He's already can put a staff together of players that he played with and that he knows these guys can coach. I think this is the trend for the National Football League. This is a way to get these great players continue to be in the National Football League. It ain't that hard. It's the easiest sport in the history of man. Dumb jocks have been doing it for years. You know what I mean? So Fred Flintstone can be a head coach in the National Football League if he got the right personnel and the right staff together. So I'm all in on Jeff Saturday.
Jim, wow. I figured you say something crazy like that. Listen, I'm all out on Jeff Saturday. He was horrible as a high school coach, was an average NFL analyst, was a Hall of Fame football player, but that doesn't mean he's going to be a great coach for the Colts. I think it's horrible. You had other players there that have been on the coaching staff. I think they should have got a chance to do it. They were putting in the work. It's going to be a disaster. I'm glad they're on the Steelers schedule because that's one of the games I'm going to put a check by that the Steelers could win. I didn't like that move at all. Again, nepotism. Yes, he's a Hall of Famer. He had the relationship with the Colts, and they just threw him in there. I don't like that. There were coaches on that coaching staff putting in the work, waiting for their opportunity, and they get a guy off ESPN and First Take and throw him in there and say, coach. I don't like the move. Let the guys who've been putting in work get it. Also, Kenny Pickett. You guys were saying it was a horrible pick. You hated it when it happened. I'm going to give him a chance. Not everybody's going to come out on fire like a Lamar Jackson. Most quarterbacks struggle. He struggled more than most this year, I agree, but I'm not giving up on him. He has a chance to be special, leadership, mobility. I think he has it. He just has to get it. He has a bad offensive line. His running backs aren't helping him. His receivers aren't helping him. Only one who's really making crazy catches for him is George Pickens. Hopefully they can, get that combination going. Deontay Dropson has been dropping passes left and right, back to his old tricks. Unless these guys are helping a rookie quarterback, he's going to struggle. Those guys also have to pick it up. You can't put it all on him. I'm not giving up. I think he can definitely make that change. And, we'll see. Yes, he's going to struggle this year. Next year, we have a lot of picks. We have to hit next year big. But I'm not giving up. I wouldn't pick a quarterback with a high first rounder. Let's roll with Kenny Pickett and build around him. I've seen some things. He looked great in the preseason. He's learning. I'm going to let him learn the game. Peyton Manning co-signs him. I'm co-signing him. I think he can still get it done. All right, let's just jump back right into how about the Steelers defense? Smokin' Jim. Steelers D versus Saints offense. We got your favorite red-headed quarterback. We know you love redheads. What do you think about our chances against the Saints offense?
Well, I'll just say this. I remember a rookie quarterback that went 5-3 by the name of Duck. But anyhow, if you can play, you can play. If you can't, you can't.
Who's also out of the league.
Okay, that's the Steelers' fault.
That's every team in the NFL city was a bum.
Jimmy Smith was cut by the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, my God.
Yancey Thigpen was cut by the San Diego Chargers. You want me to continue? Steve Largent was cut as a rookie. So
and he doesn't compare to any. He doesn't compare to any of those guys because he had 8 games in the NFL and he hasn't touched the NFL field again and is retired. So, I don't know why you're comparing him to those guys who had solid NFL careers. He had 8 games and got exposed.
I'm just saying he was 5-3, and Kenny Pickett looked like he's going to break the all-time interception record. But hey, listen, Lou, the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, even though they don't have Mika Fitzpatrick, he's a distant number 2. The number 1 guy is T.J. Watt. The Steelers are a different team with T.J. Watt. He's the true captain of the team. I would have him be a captain on offense, defense, special teams. As the Steelers go, T.J. Watt goes. You got to put 2 and 3 guys around him. This is a guy that brings that enthusiasm, that energy. He raises everybody's level of their game. He's not satisfied for mediocrity. So I like the Pittsburgh Steelers defense against the Saints. Although the Saints have a quarterback that would have took us to the playoff this year, and Andy Dalton, his statistics is unbelievable for his career. He got Hall of Fame statistics. So I like the Steelers defense over the Saints offense today.
How many playoff games did Andy Dalton win? Oh, okay. Same as me. All right, Claudio, what are your thoughts about Steelers D and Saints offense?
Number one, you said about Jeff Saturday how he is how the
amount, Bill, same amount Mike Tomlin won in the last 10 years.
Oh, okay, Jim. All right, Claudia, Jeff.
You said about ESPN or NFL plucking guys from ESPN. Well, I'm hoping the Pirates pluck me and you from PCTV and the NFL Jim from PCTV. What do you think?
Hey, I like that.
Yes, definitely.
Make that happen.
As far as the Steeler D and the New Orleans offense, I was never a big fan of Andy Dalton. I love Jim and I respect his opinions, but I never thought I think he's just he's all right. He's all right. But today, the New Orleans offense isn't that bad. They 25 points a game. That's the defense. I apologize. They score a nice amount of points. They have a good running back with Kamara, and Dalton he's not intimidated by the Steeler defense. He's played against them numerous times, so he's a true veteran against them. I think that, and now with Minka being out, okay, I think they're going to open it up a little bit. I think they are going to pass more and not just dink and dunks. I think they're going to go a little bit deeper and challenge the defensive backs of the Steelers. So that's what I think they're going to do. And I think they're going to run the ball a little bit better than people expect. Yes, Watt being in there is going to be huge, and he is going to bring energy. But what is the best thing to quiet the fans down, to quiet the energy down? And that's be successful. How many times have we seen at the beginning of a basketball game, a football game, where the fans are going crazy, the players are all pumped up, and as soon as the offense scores, the decibel level comes down. So New Orleans has to not only they have to throw the first punch and the second punch, and they have to score early to quiet the crowd down. That's going to be huge.
All right. Smokin', all right, let's see. Terry French says Pickens is a beast. I definitely agree with that. I agree. Pickett is our guy. Don't give up on him yet. And we got our good buddy Ralph Williams. Good morning, guys. Great show. Hey, Ralph. Yeah, you're way in on this. We're going with the Steelers D versus Saints offense. Listen, my opinion is this. Steelers defense, it's completely different with TJ Watt. You know, the Saints have 3 offensive linemen that are injured. We're going to be able to pressure Andy Dalton. One thing we know about Andy Dalton against us, he will turn the ball over. Question is, where our corners be in position to make those plays? Minka being out hurts bad. That means more Trey Norwood. You know, every time he's been on the field, he looks very slow out there. That's really going to be hurtful. But I think the key is stopping Alvin Kamara. They use him in the running game. He's great in the passing game. He's just an all-around, one of the best all-around backs. That's a true number 1 running back, where you can get him inside, outside in the passing game. They use him effectively. He's going to be a problem. I don't see Miles Jack and Devin Bush able to slow him down too much. Look for him to have at least 100 yards combined and at least 1 touchdown. I think he's going to be a very big problem. The receivers, I don't know, Michael Thomas, Smokin Jim always talks about brittle brothers. Man, a toe injury keeps you out the whole season. They have a lot of injuries at wide receiver. I like the rookie from Ohio State, Chris Olave. He's going to present some problems, but I'm not afraid of the rest of the receiving core. I think we can shut them down pretty good. I like our chances against them. Their offense has been struggling. Monday night, they looked terrible against the Ravens. And Andy Dalton can be rattled. You know, Jameis Winston is sitting on the bench. I think he should be playing. He lost his job due to injury, and the team is 3-6. I don't know how you don't get your job back and your team's 3-6. I don't get it. But looking at the offense, Claudio, why don't you go with us first? What are your thoughts about Steelers offense versus the Saints defense?
And I agree with what you said about putting pressure on Dalton. Excellent points. Now, Steelers offense, again, I repeat, don't do the dink and dunks, okay? Open it up a little bit. Canada, I know you read the press clippings and hear what's going on. And they're, the fans and everybody's telling you what's wrong. You can't see that. You don't need the fans telling you. You can see it all the game film you watch. Go for it. Open it up. Use Pickett's abilities to run. He doesn't have a big arm, but use him to move around the pocket to run. Najee Harris, I'm not going to give up on him. I still think he's a stud, okay? And now he's got a little flame under him because what? They're talking about Warren getting more carries. And I don't agree with splitting the time. 12 carries, 15 carries. You need one back to get 20. That's what they should go into it. Give Harris the ball, especially with a rookie quarterback with more excuses with him. Give him the ball 20, 25 games. What do you have to lose? Let's find out what we have. Okay. Then when you run the ball like that, again, don't just throw 1 or 2, 3, 5, 6, 8 yard patterns. Go deep a little bit. You have the weapons, use them. And that's what I think the offense should do. New Orleans defense, they can give up. They give up a lot of yards. They give up 25 points a game, 320 some odd yards per game. Open it up. Use Najee Harris. I think they have the opportunity today, to really show what the offense could and should be. And what's up, Terry French?
All right, Smoker Jim.
All right, just to get the fans up to date, because I know they've been texting me on this. Andy Dalton's a 3-time Pro Bowler. He's passed for 36,000 yards, 233 touchdowns, and only 139 interceptions. He's rushed for 1,500 yards and 22 touchdowns. That's Hall of Fame. He's not going to make the Hall of Fame, but he's already had a Hall of Fame career. First of all, I think that the huge advantage goes to New Orleans defense. They got some playmakers over there. Tyrann Mathieu. These guys are licking their chops to be able to get the 9th and 10th and 11th and 12th interception off of Kenny Pickoff. I have to disagree with Claudio a little bit. I'm not giving up on Najee Harris. Najee Harris is a beast. But Warren, I said before, he's the next. He reminds me of a Barry Foster. So you got Lawrence McCutcheon and Barry Foster. You got two great backs. I would split the carries. Dallas Cowboys is doing it, and it's working very effectively. The Pony Express with Eric Dickerson and Craig James at SMU worked very well. Hey, these guys, man, the more carries a running back gets, the better off you are when you got a turnover prone quarterback with little hands. So, again, if you're telling me that George Pickens is your best receiver on your team, and I'm not going to disagree with that. I think he's as talented as anybody that's ever come into the league, but he's yet to run a pattern, and he can't run patterns. He'll never be open. So he'll make that catch. You just got to throw to him with somebody draped all over him. I've never in my life, all my years, and I've had season tickets since I was 4 years old, I've never in my life seen a receiver, even Randy Moss, that ran worse patterns than George Pickens.
Chase Claypool comes to mind. He was a terrible route runner. I'm glad we got rid of him. I think Pickens was picking up some route running from him. Maybe he could pick up some route running from Deontay. While his hands are bad, he's one of the best route runners in the league. All right, let's get back here. Rouse says Kazzy is back. Let's see what he does. Yeah, another brittle brother who hasn't played all year. Hopefully he comes back and doesn't get hurt immediately. Dennis Allen was not a good coach with the Raiders. Okay. Terry French, exactly, Claudio. We're using the playbook from the 90s with all these dinks and dunks. The game nowadays is long ball, all right? Frank Jackson, Canada's trash. Najee is another bum from Alabama. Okay. All right, great. That's pretty good. Listen, as I look at our offense, struggled all year long. Kenny Pickett's really having a rough go. Against the Saints, their corners are pretty tough, and Tyrann Mathieu is a playmaker. He's back at home playing in New Orleans. Look for him to make a big play. I'd like to really try to see our running game get going. Baltimore had some success on the ground with them. You can run on them. You can run on the Saints if you stick to it. I'd like to see Jalen Warren get about 10 carries, Najee get about 12. But I think we can pound the ball. I saw what the Ravens did to him. Again, you're not going to pass on them. Lamar only had under 150 yards. Derek Carr the week before only had 150 yards. I think Kenny Pickett's going to be in the same, 130 to 150 yards. Their corners and their safeties, it's hard to pass on them, but you can run on them, So hopefully we'll be able to get the running game going. All right, let's go to fantasy sitter start as we get ready to wrap up here. All right, let's start with you, Claudio. Well, we know Mink is going to be out, and we know Chase Claypool. Real quick, Chase Claypool, do you like the trade, Claudio, before we get in this?
No.
You don't?
They got a nice return, better than I expected, but I would have liked to seen them keep Claypool, and to be honest with you, trade Johnson. I know they may not have gotten as much back because of the contract. I don't think they should have signed that kind of a contract to him anyway. But I think Chase Claypool, yes, the maturity needed to happen to develop, but I really liked him. And between him and Pickens, man, that would have been a hell of a tandem. And when you don't have a quarterback who's as accurate as he should be in Pickett, you have guys who don't need the ball right there. They can make the spectacular catch. I would have given him everybody wants to give Pickett more time. I would have given Claypool a little bit more time.
Yeah, we've seen enough. He had a great rookie year. I was glad when they got rid of him. I wanted him traded at the beginning of the year, if you remember. I'm surprised they got a second-round pick for him.
Yeah.
In the words of Smokin Jim, he looks like Tarzan and plays like Jane. I mean, the guy's big. He has all the measurables, but he doesn't make plays. They're throwing jump balls, and guys 5'8" are taking it away from him. He doesn't high point the ball. Maybe he'll get a better chance with Justin Fields. Justin Fields has one of the bigger arms. They tried to throw him a long ball, and he didn't catch it there. His first game, it looked like the same thing. They said it was pass interference. I saw Claypool not getting his jumping right again. He needs to improve on that. Jim, You said he was one of the greatest receivers ever. Can you take your L now, Jim? Are you willing to admit you
Well,
took another L with Claypool?
well, I'll admit this, that he had
Yeah.
11 touchdown pass receptions as a rookie, which set a still a rookie record. He also led the NFL. I'll say it again. He led the NFL in pass interference calls. And it looks like Chicago's smart enough to throw it up to it again because he's either going to get it or they're going to have to interfere with that beast.
Well, it didn't happen that
So
first
that's
game.
what you said. You said they got a pass interference call.
They didn't. They didn't. They wanted a pass interference, but they didn't. But again, he didn't high point the ball.
Okay.
A 5'11" guy was right there at the same point as him. You're 6'5", high point the ball. You know, he'll jump into the end zone like this, but he never gets that high when the ball's in the air. Come on, man. I'm very disappointed.
I'm not afraid of coaching. This look like the Steelers are afraid of coaching. Hopefully, you get a better wide receiver coach because when you're 6'5", 240, and you run a 4.3 40, you should be able to get more production out of that guy if you ain't afraid to coach.
Good point.
Yeah, if you have the right mentality, you know. But this guy hasn't shown maturity. He hasn't shown any improvement on his route running. Come on, Jim. You got to admit when you're wrong. Take the L on this one. They gave up, and I'm surprised they got a second-round pick for him. I hope he has success with Justin Fields, but he was done here. He was done here. All right. How about Deontay Johnson? Do you sit or start him? And then we'll get back to the comments in 1 minute. Claudio.
Sit him.
Sit him. Smoking Jim?
Do you get fantasy points for drop passes? If not, sit him.
I'm sitting his butt. He's on one of my teams and has done nothing all year. Definitely sit him. All right. How about the rookie phenom, George Pickens, Smoking Jim? Sit or start?
You always want to play him because he'll pout if you don't. So start.
I'm starting him. I think he can have a big game. He has a height advantage against these Saint cornerbacks. You got to throw him the ball, throw it up to him a couple times, let him go get it. Claudio.
Without question, start him, play him.
All right. How about Najee Harris? You know, people are making memes about him all over the internet. You sit or start him, Claudio. You say he's big time still.
I'm still going to believe in him. I'm definitely going to play him. But again, you have to give him the ball. You have to say you're number one guy, 20 to 24 times a game. He's going to run the ball, throw him some passes, not again, just a 3-yard passes. Again, I said this when he first started. Lawrence McCutcheon, Jim mentioned it again today. Lawrence McCutcheon with the ground chuck offense of the LA Rams back in the 70s, he still caught balls for 16, 17, 20 yards a pop. Okay, not just 2-yard patterns. Definitely start him.
Smoking Jim.
Sit.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know if he's still injured. I know he's been battling injuries, foot injuries, but he doesn't have the same explosiveness. Last year took a lot out of him. He came into this year hurt. You got to split the carries. Jaylen Warren looks like he has more explosion getting to the holes. And the little holes that are there, he's able to at least get them. It seems like Najee's hesitant. He's slow to the hole, and he's missing the small holes there are. I'd like to see Warren get at least 10, 12 carries. All right. Let's look at the Saints. Chris Olave, what do you think? Sit or start? Smoking Jim.
You got to start him.
Got to start him. Claudio?
Start him.
Start him. I say start him as well. Alvin Kamara, he's a start every game for me. He's explosive. He'll have over 100 yards combination. I think he's going to have at least 2 touchdowns. Still one of the most explosive backs in the NFL. And unlike the Steelers, they put him in position to succeed. He's going to have a good game today. Claudio?
Exactly what I'm thinking. I'm with you, Luthers.
Smoker Jim?
Well, is this an all-black fantasy team? I mean, no Fryer move, no, you know what I mean? No Kenny Pickett. Hey, I'll start Camaro. I'll start Camaro. Maybe before the end of this clip, you'll show us a white guy that we consider start.
Jim, you love talking about race. Here you go. Jim, your favorite quarterback, Andy Dalton. Sit or start this this quarterback.
He may put up 600 yards today, starting.
Claudio.
Luther, my greatest quarterbacks of all time. Namath, Marino, Montana, Brady. Throw Manning in there, Fran Tarkenton, Roger Staubach, and Andy Dalton. Stop belonging in that list. Hell no, don't play him.
Yeah, Andy Dalton. I didn't like the way he looked last year. I think with 3 offensive linemen out.
Like the red hair, that's what you don't like. Tell him, Jim.
I love redheads. Hey, listen, I just don't like this one. Andy Dalton, last week he looked shook. This week he has 3 offensive linemen out and TJ Watt is back. Look for Watt to get about 2 to 3 sacks. Look for Highsmith to start making way to, remember he was leading the league in sacks for a minute. I think they're both going to be able to put pressure on him and look for Andy Dalton to be rattled back there and throw some interceptions. I don't think we have to worry about him, but Alvin Kamara is going to be a problem. I would sit him. How about Taysom Hill? He's a very interesting player. He gets out there. He plays quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. You could put him all around the field. Do you play or sit him? You think he'll have a good game or you think he can make some game-changing plays? Claudio, I'll start with you first.
Jim talks about the numbers. This young man might not put up the big numbers, but fantasy-wise, he may put up points. Okay, he's the type of guy who may throw, catch, or run for a for your fantasy team. But hope is not a strategy. If I'm iffy on it, I'm gonna say no.
All right, Smokin' Jim.
Well, this boy must have grew up on black-eyed peas and cornbread because he's the closest thing to a black player I have ever seen. He can do it all. He's very exciting.
Everything's about race with you, Jim.
He reminds me. He reminds me of a white Eric Metcalf, and I would start him.
Everything got to have a color with you, Jim. He can't just be a good player. You got to say he's a white player that plays like a black player or a black man that talks like a white man. It's always a color thing with you, Jim. God, dog. Claudio?
Say, what's the guy's? I'm losing my mind. The guy who the 49ers just picked up, the running back?
Yeah, McCaffrey.
McCaffrey.
This young man reminds me of a white McCaffrey.
That's pretty good. Listen, I think he is going to. I think Taysom Hill is going to have some game-changing plays this game. I would play him. I think they're going to move him around, put him in position to succeed. I think he can even have a touchdown. All right, let's get back into some of these comments real quick. All right, Terry French. Without Claypool, Pickens will get more coverage. He'll be fine though. That's true. Claypool is 6'5", but plays like 5'10". Frank does not like Claypool. All right. Ralph, I heard from 2 prominent Steelers reporters that Canada is going at the end of the year. Hey, Ralph, I didn't need to hear that. I knew that 4 games ago. I didn't know if he would make it to the end of the year. And I'm still not sure he's going to make it to the end of the year. Terry, yes, should have traded Johnson. I think we could have got a first. Man, come on, Terry. Nobody was given a first-round pick for Deontay.
What's talking about?
Nobody was given a first-round pick for Deontay. Drops it. No. Come on, man. Should have kept Washington, in my opinion. Ooh, okay. All right, Thomas, Danilo. Okay, Pickett 3 touchdown passes today to the Saints. Oh, that's wild. All right, my mom says hi to the 3 of you. Hey, Mom, how you doing? Appreciate that, Ralph. Listen, as we get ready to wrap up with our predictions, I'll let you go first, Claudio. What are your thoughts? What are your predictions?
Was that Tom DeNuno?
Yes.
All right. What's up, Tom? Had dinner last night. Good dinner. Thank you very much. You know what? I've been going back and forth. I'm going to go with New Orleans 26, Pittsburgh 19.
All right, Smokin' Jim. Jim, what's your prediction?
Did he hang up?
Penn State blowing out Maryland. Can you hear me?
We hear you now, yeah. We hear you now. Jim, we hear you.
Yeah, I won big yesterday. Okay, I won big yesterday with Penn State over Maryland, so I got some money to throw around. So I'll put a bet in on New Orleans Saints.
No score?
Let's give it Andy Dalton 40, the Pittsburgh Steelers 8.
You and these. All right, let's go. All right, Ralph Williams. He says 2013 Steelers. Okay. Terry French, great having you guys back. Great being back, Terry. Thanks for all your support. Terry French, 24-19 Steelers. Listen, I'm kind of like Terry. I got the Steelers squeaking it out 23-20, a close game, no more than 10 points really each half, but I think we'll be able to do enough to squeeze it out. Look for TJ Watt to really cause havoc. Him, Highsmith, and Hayward. 3 offensive linemen out. We have to have about 8 sacks and make Andy Dalton look like he's back in Cincinnati under duress. I think we can do it. Hey, guys, I want to thank you all for being part. Terry, Thomas, Ralph, Frank, everybody who jumped in. We're going to start doing this on a regular basis again. But there you have it. I appreciate you guys for coming in, and hopefully we'll get some more next time. For Smokin, Jim, for Claudio, the Hall of Famers, I'm Luther Dupree, and we will talk to you all next week. Peace.